Hey Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well, David. How about yourself?
No, I'm doing great. So today we got together to talk about how to become a better communicator. So my name is David Lee. I'm a founder at a Ceeya, and a Ceeya helps freelancers and solopreneurs to be
Wait,
successful.
David. Wait. Hold on just a second.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, well, you didn't have any small talk.
Small talk. Like why do we need to do small talk? We don't have enough time.
No, you do have to do it because here's why. If you don't do it, you might miss that emotional connection with the person you're talking to.
Well, what is small talk anyway?
And it's like a little buffer zone, and it
Mm.
creates an emotional connection with whoever you're talking to.
Isn't that just a waste of your time? I don't know. What do you think?
If you don't do it, you might not
Mm.
make that connection you need with that. I know this is about business, but business is based on personal connection, right?
Okay.
In your country, it's the same thing, right? There's some kind of connection
Mm.
you need to make.
Yeah, you're right. Because when I try to do sales, I close more sales when there's an emotional connection, and I recognize that. But I feel like sometimes I jump right into my business with the fear that I might not be able to, like, put all my sales material within time, and I have a fear that I'm wasting my partner's time. So I try to jump right into that. So yeah, I think I should actually start working on small talk. Is there something that I can practice and get better at?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually, I mean, I know it's hard for a lot of people who are not from this cultural background or from the
Mm.
US, but there are actually some things you can do that will make it a lot easier. And it's pretty simple. The first thing you want to do is show some curiosity, right? So let's say it's the on Monday, and it's the beginning. You just had the weekend, right?
And nobody like Monday.
Right. It's horrible. You have to survive Monday, but the small talk can make it easier. So what are you going to ask them?
This weekend was a Super Bowl, right? Then I can start from there as well. Or what did you do over the weekend that you want to
Yeah.
share? Yeah, something like that. I think
Yeah,
would be
that's a
good.
really common one, right? But then sometimes international people get stuck there. They ask, "Oh, how was your weekend, and what did you do?" You get stuck.
Then right into my business right away, right?
Like, woo, like what now? Right? All right. So here's the thing. So after you ask that question, you show your curiosity. That's good. It could be the weekend, or it could be like, what are you going to be doing on Friday, whatever. The next thing you got to do is this is where it gets hard, is you got to share a little bit of your experience, right? You got to tell something about what you did or something related to what the person says, right? So let me give you a quick example here.
Okay.
First, let's say you ask what they did, and the guy says, "Oh yeah, I went to LA with my girlfriend, and it was awesome. We had a really great time. We went to some restaurants, had some great food, went to the beach, blah blah blah, whatever." Now, at this point, sometimes the international person is going to go, "Oh, good," and then they're going to jump into like the business, right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is something like this. You want to say, "Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was in LA a few years ago. It was before the pandemic, and it was great. We had some really good
Mm.
food, and I actually love LA. I
I
love
love
LA.
LA because they have a really good Korean food. I can always go to that topic too. Then we can,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah, well, Koreatown is incredible.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the food is incredible anyway. Yeah, so that's the way to do it. Is you want to respond, share your experience a little bit, and then at that point you have some options. You can either just say, "Okay, that sounds great. Now let's get down to business." And then you can switch over
Mm.
to your business topic at that point.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if, I asked them about their weekend and they said, let's say, Tahoe. And let's say I never been to Tahoe. I don't
Mm,
even know what Tahoe is.
mm.
How do I can quickly create this, active conversation on a topic that I'm not too familiar with? Like how should I, act,
Yeah, that's a
engage?
great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that one a lot. It's a common one because then it's like, what do I do? What do I talk about? Because I don't have that experience. I don't know that movie. I've never been to
Mm.
that place. Yeah. Well, this is where what I recommend to you guys is that you do something I call the pivot. Okay, the pivot, like your little switch of direction. You take something related to what that person's talking about, right? And then you jump to the topic. So, for example, let's say you had never been to Tahoe, like you said, you could say, "Wow, I've never been to Tahoe, but I love skiing. And a couple of years ago, I went to Switzerland or
Mm.
Colorado." So it's kind of related, but then you jump to a subject where you have some experience, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, if I don't know, if I didn't know anything about Tao, I can just even ask too, I guess, right? So what did you do in Tao? Like, what do you like about Tao? I mean, is that
Yeah,
okay way to approach as well?
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
see, I
I
see.
think the questions are good. The thing is, you want to make sure that you give your side as well. So it sounds like a
Ah.
conversation because it could just sound like you're interrogating that person. Like,
So
where
what
were
did
you
you
last
do?
night?
Like,
What
what did
did
you
you
eat? Like, when did you come back, right?
taking notes and like, okay,
I see, I see.
I'm gonna give this to the police later, kind of thing.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, so you want to have it back, making it back and forth. And here's the thing with that pivot is you can be kind of creative with it, right?
I see.
Like if it's, let's say you've never been to Tahoe, you've never been skiing, you've never gambled, any of the things we think about with Tahoe, you could say it could be about travel because that story is about traveling, right? So, or that's say something
Mm.
like if they mentioned they went there with their girlfriend, you could say, yeah, I like to, my girlfriend and I do things a lot on the
Mm.
weekends and blah, blah, blah. And then
I
you
see, I
go
see.
off.
Try to
So,
find a point where I can actually to share my story
yep.
from this small conversation. Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
great. Yeah, what are some other tips you mentioned, the three?
I think one of the other important things, I mean, this is what we talked about, is pretty good. It pretty much covers it. Small talk doesn't have to be long, but you kind of have to cover the bases that we just talked about in order to get
Mm.
that emotional connection with your business partner or with your potential client, whoever it is, your colleague, your teammate. But it doesn't have to be long. You can do it a minute, 2 minutes. um, so that's something to keep in mind. You don't have to go too deep. A couple other things. One thing is make sure you have that emotional kind of, this is another cultural thing, but kind of emotional expression, like say things like, wow, that's really cool, or yeah, that's great. You know, Americans, we like to
No,
have that.
I'm smiling because there's something I'm not really good at. I ask a question, then I'm like, okay, let's jump right into business. So I'm not listening.
Mm,
I asked the question, but I'm not listening. I'm just waiting for my business pitch.
uh, yeah, no, that's not going to work because they'll
Okay.
know, they can feel it if you're not really, I mean, you can feel it if you're not
Yeah, yeah,
listening.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, show that you're kind of like empathy, right? So,
Mhm.
oh, that's great. But if they have a bad experience, like they get stuck, like sometimes you get delayed at the airport, whatever the case may be, get a little food poisoning at
Mm.
some bad restaurant, like, ah, oh, yeah, that sucks, or that's annoying, or and that's
Oh,
all you
okay.
got to do. So just add that little emotional, because as we both know, as people who work in with clients and everything, like the name of the game is that emotional connection, really. Like business
Okay.
is comes afterwards, right?
Sure.
I think it's the same in other cultures. You guys just do it differently or just manage it differently. So yeah. Um, I've got some other tips, but maybe that's good for now.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Should do you can I try like do this again
Oh yeah,
early in the
you
meeting?
want to
Then
practice a little bit?
let's just
All right,
say, okay, let me say okay. Then
that would be great. Yeah.
ask a question, then I engage in it and a pivot. Okay, let me see if I can do this naturally or not. I'm not a natural small talker. So
Okay. The pressure's on.
all right, let's start.
Okay.
Hey Kevin, how are you?
Hey David, doing great. How about
Oh
yourself?
yeah. So today is already Thursday. The week went by so fast. So what did you do? What did you do this week?
Yeah, it's basically been a lot of like meetings and conversations. Had some sessions with some clients. Took some walks around the neighborhood. Got outside a little bit, but yeah,
Oh
it's been
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think going walking outside is very important and getting some sun. Like and even myself, I have like 5, 6 meetings like every day, and
yeah,
sometimes I'm just in my room all day. Then my energy level just goes down. So whenever I go
yeah,
outside, I
yeah.
feel like I'm getting my energy there. Like then like yeah, how's the walk like for you?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I need to get out. Like where I'm staying right now, we're really close to this park, so I just go out, go up to the park, walk around, chase a few deer.
Deer. Yeah, so yeah, I live right next to Golden Gate Park too. So
Yeah,
we do have
yeah.
some deers and a raccoon. So that's great.
Coyotes. Say hi to the squirrels. But yeah.
Yeah, squirrels are great. So quick pause. Now I'm having hard time. How do I bring in now like a business conversation? Do I say,
Mm,
okay, small talk done. Now is a business talk. I know I can do
yeah.
that. So what is like the smooth transition that I can move from small talk to the business? That's why I kind of got stuck in. I was like, yeah,
You're
okay, I can talk about deers and a squirrel all day, right?
like, yeah, you're like, small talk's over, man. We're done. Um, you can just say, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I love going outside. Anyway, I really was looking forward to talking to you about this new project we mentioned last week in the email. So why don't we? How do you feel about getting into that? And they'll probably say, yeah, it sounds great. So I was really looking like okay. The statement is I was really looking forward to talking to you about whatever it is, the project, the new client, whatever, the platform. Or
yeah. So okay. Let's say then I can go back and yeah. I love walking outside too. It gives me so energy. Yeah. And like I just walked outside today and I feel really great. And I've been actually wanting to like have this conversation with you and I've been waiting for it. So I think it's the perfect time.
oh wait, stop. So anyway, let's the thing I left out there, which is what I could say anyway, that anyway phrase, or
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, because that's a word that we use often to transition to a different
Sure.
topic. Yeah, going outside is great. I love the squirrels. They're so cute. Anyway, I was looking forward to talking to you about this thing, or regarding that email you sent me last week. Yeah, just use anyway as your transition word, then you're good. Anyway, like that. So try one more time.
Yeah. I love walking outside and I love squirrels and deers. And yeah, and anyway, I've been kind of wanting to like, talk to you, and I've been looking forward to this meeting.
Very good. Yeah, that was nice. Very slick. Very smooth.
Okay. So I
I'll
immediately
sign the contract.
just from the small talk. So I immediately started like how you're doing, and even like in Korean culture, we actually do not have a direct translation for how are you. Like we don't have that. So even I think because how are you brings up so many topics, then you can talk about like small talk. But
yeah. Right.
and just because we don't even have like how are you, we say something like some other way to say
I've
it.
heard yapseo or something like that.
Yeah. We 안녕하세요 is like hi.
안녕하세요. Yeah.
And and we say 어떻게 지내셨어요? That actually means how have you been doing? Normally Korean people would answer fine.
Right. That's interesting because a lot of Korean clients I've worked with, that's what they do. You say, how have you been doing? They say fine, and then it's whatever, it's to the topic. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So and that's and even for me now, after so many years of working with Asian and Korean clients, it's still a little bit jarring when that happens. So I think it's very important, it's to do even just a little bit is going to help with that relationship that you want to develop.
So I'm thinking this small talk can help in so many different like verticals in industry.
Absolutely.
Sales, interview, even before like every meeting, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just come to a meeting. I don't say, hey, let's talk about our sales number today. Like,
we're talking. Yeah.
Talking.
No, you're not gonna make that connection that you need. That's gonna get you where you want to go. No.
Yeah. So I think in the future we can, for this small talk, in my opinion, conversation is great, and I think a lot of people can get a good value out of it. Let's then I think in the future we can talk about small talk in different settings as well.
Yeah,
like, I think
absolutely.
Interview is an area, like job interview is an area where we feel very nervous, right? And so we may not like getting into small talk at all. Because like I want to show my portfolio, like I want to show how great I am. So sometimes you forget about that. So maybe we can pursue like those kind of contents.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I think our time is up. I think we talked a lot of great things about small talk, and I feel like next time I'm jumping into the sales call, I'll make sure to utilize my small talk, and I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, great, and also listen to the way other people do it, and just kind of refine and observe, and yeah. But anyway, that was great, David. Enjoyed talking to you, and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, so anyone who's watching this video, yeah, if you guys wanna just like learn a little bit more about how to have the small talk and be better at a communication and a conversation, yeah, and feel free to reach out to Kevin or just myself, and we'll be more than happy to help you any way possible. Right. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for your time. And I'll probably let's do another video next week. This is
for sure. Great, David. Talk to you then.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. I'm going to just stop.